Hi, I'm Gary White for Channel 6, Central Kentucky Television, and I'm here with Juanita Herron here at the Marion County Extension Office. And today we're going to make amazing pancakes, and we're actually going to make them with a little fall item that you might not expect, right?
Yes, that is exactly right. Gary, I hope you're having a blessed day today. We're making amazing pancakes, and I know you and I chatted just a minute when you came in. What's so amazing about this, we are going to use an item that, and I'm going to be very truthful with you all, this item I had never thought about putting in pancakes. I know a lot of people put lots of different fruits in pancakes, even chocolate chips, right?
That's right.
Bananas, chocolate chips, those type of things, which we know chocolate chips is not a fruit now. But we have those bananas in there. Yeah. But today we are actually using a sweet potato.
Okay.
So sweet potatoes is one we think of fall. Don't you think of the sweet potatoes? And you can see
they look fallish.
They're fallish. They're orange. You know, that's what we always think about is fall, is some sweet potatoes. And I love a sweet potato. A sweet potato has lots and lots of good vitamins in them. And, you know, if you've got some picky eaters out there, this might be something that maybe you can sneak some of those sweet potatoes in, and they may not, he or she may not know that.
Right.
So, you know, we've talked about our sweet potatoes, and it is one of the, very high in lots of good vitamins. Vitamin A, we know we need that for our eyes. Anything that we're eating dark orange, dark yellow, dark green has lots of good vitamin A in it, plus some other vitamins that are very good for us for our eyesight. Okay. So, you know, it's something that's very good. And a lot of times when we think about sweet potatoes, I think a lot of times we always think of them at Thanksgiving, right? And what do we do with the sweet potato at Thanksgiving?
You make them even sweeter.
You make them even sweeter, that's right. But now if a sweet potato, it says sweet in its name, and it is sweet. But a lot of times at Thanksgiving, everybody will have that famous sweet potato casserole, right? But I can eat sweet potatoes any time of the year, you know. But these are not going to have anything extra added to them, okay?
Okay.
So I'm going to read the recipe first, and then we'll kind of go back and go through it. This recipe is amazing pancakes. We're going to use a cup of self-rising flour, plus we're going to use a half a cup of whole wheat flour. And I said we wouldn't put anything sweet. We're going to put 2 tablespoons of sugar. Okay. In the whole batter. Now that's not a lot of sugar when you have. It also says you can use 1/4 cup of chopped nuts, optional. Gary, we're not putting nuts in this today. Okay. Here at the extension office, a lot of times when we're doing recipes and they call for nuts, we just do not use nuts on account of so many nut allergies. Right. So that way we just kind of stay away from the nuts. Okay. But if you're out there, if you want to put nuts in it, you can. 1/4 cup of chopped nuts. We're going to use 1 cup of sweet potatoes, and we've got them already cooked. I'm going to mash them. We're going to use 1 cup of that. We're going to use 3 beaten eggs. We're going to use 1 cup of fat-free milk. We're going to use 2 tablespoons of our olive oil. We're going to use a tablespoon of vanilla. And then we're just going to mix it up, and we're going to use some cooking spray in our skillet to cook them in. So is that pretty easy?
Sounds good to me.
It sounds pretty easy. It does. And this is.
It sounds amazing.
It sounds amazing. There you go, Gary. You got the right word.
That's right.
So it tells us our directions is in a medium bowl. We're going to combine our flour, sugar, and cinnamon. So that's what we're going to do first right now. Okay. We're going to combine our flour, sugar, and our cinnamon. I think I need to use this bowl first. Okay. So, Gary, you keep me straight here. Now, I'm going to use 1 cup of self-rising flour now. Right. Okay. It did not say pack down, correct?
No.
Okay. No. So, and this is my dry measuring cup that we're using today. So, I have just went ahead and got some flour. And you see, I'm just kind of letting it flow in there.
And for the non-cooks among us, there are various kinds of flour. So if it says self-rising, it does need to be the self-rising, right?
It sure does. Okay. It sure does. A lot of times people, will kind of substitute. Now, Gary, it does not say in there, it says 1 cup of self-rising flour. It doesn't say heaping, right?
No.
And you notice when I put the flour in the cup, I wasn't trying to pack it down.
Right.
So if I packed it down, this might make it a little heavy. So I've got 1 cup. So I'm just going to take the end of my spoon and I'm just going to kind of level it off.
Okay.
So I had just a tad more than 1 cup, right?
Right.
So I'm going to put my flour, my self-rising flour, in that one.
Right.
Now it calls for 1/2 cup of whole wheat. And you can see out there, I've got my self-rising and my whole wheat.
Right.
It's a whole different color, right?
It is.
So, and I'm going to use, we're going to use...
it's another autumnal color. It's brown.
It's brown. There you go. I'm going to do it the same way.
Okay. And that's the 1/2 cup of whole wheat flour.
Whole wheat, 1/2 cup.
Okay.
Not a cup. Just going to take it off.
Okay.
Set this to the side. And we're going to add that one. So we're just going to take this. Now it said all dry ingredients. So we're going to use our sugar. And you know, I've got my little handy dandy measuring spoon.
Right.
And I'm going to use 2 tablespoons.
2 tablespoons, yep.
And I want to make sure that I'm doing a level. 1.
You need to be careful too because we have tablespoons of sugar, but we only have a teaspoon of cinnamon.
Exactly. Exactly.
And
there you go. You're
right?
on this. That's right.
That's a big difference.
I'm going to use a teaspoon of my cinnamon. Now, the reason I think too, cinnamon can be pretty potent. You know, I love to smell cinnamon.
I do too.
And you know, that's one of those fall scents also, right? So you told me I need 1 cup or
teaspoon.
1 teaspoon. Thank you, Gary.
Don't put a cup in there.
Oh, mercy. We would be cinnamony. All right.
No matter how much you like it, that might be too much.
It may be overpowering. What do you think? We couldn't put enough pumpkin or anything in it to be, but it's one of those fall colors, and
that's right.
We're recording this today on a very nice fall day.
Yes.
So
it's finally rained.
Finally rained. So let's see, Gary. We have got our flour, sugar, and cinnamon. Then it tells you that you need to add your 1/2 cup of your nut. I mean your 1/4 of a cup of nuts if you were going to use them.
Right.
So we're not going to do that. And the reason, if we put nuts in this, we will be kind of coating those nuts, you know, with our little dry mixture here with our flours.
Okay. Right.
So now in a separate bowl, and I'm going to reach over you, Gary, right here, and let's just set right here. So it says in our separate bowl, we're going to mix our sweet potatoes. Now, it says here that we need a cup of sweet potatoes. They need to be cooled and mashed, right? So...
Cooked and mashed, yeah.
Cooked and mashed. So they are cooked, Gary. I'm just going to mash them up. And you don't want to puree them. You just kind of want to mash them.
Okay.
Because we're going to find out in our recipe, we do not want them, we don't want to beat it too much. We don't want to mix it too much. And you know, you might get just you're just going to break them down.
They're mashed potatoes.
You ever had mashed sweet potatoes? You know, you can do mashed. You could do mashed.
I'm not sure if I've had mashed potatoes.
Well, you can do sweet potatoes just like you do mashed potatoes. You know, add your little milk and.
You can also make them fries. I have had that.
I know. And you know, a sweet potato fry is good, isn't it? And you know, a lot of times we can bake sweet potato fries. And there's a healthier option, right?
Right. And that's why we're here.
That's what we're talking about.
That's why you're here with us, Juanita, to make us healthier.
So you can see, the audience can see, I've just kind of got it mashed up just a tad. And I just stuck my fork, I mean, like I said, they're cooked. And it takes a sweet potato a little while to cook, you know.
So how did you cook them?
Well, I'm going to tell you the truth. I always tell you the truth, don't I, Gary?
I hope so.
Okay, I do. If I was going to actually cook these this morning, I would have cooked them in my oven with the skin on them. I would have just washed them real thoroughly, and I would have put them in my oven and baked them. But you know what? they do have a can of already cooked sweet potatoes.
Okay.
So that's what I have.
Right, okay.
Okay?
Okay.
I'm honest out there with the folks.
Right.
It depends
So-
on how much time we've got.
Right. So you can buy them already at this step.
Yes,
Yeah,
you could
okay.
already get them, and you have to look on the label because, you know, they've got some extra stuff in them or whatever, but
Right.
this is just in its own cooking juices. Okay?
Okay.
So, you know.
Or if you go to the farmer's market and get them, you can also cook
Go to
them
the
yourself
farmer's
as
market,
well.
yes,
Yeah,
and
that's an
I
option.
think the farmer's market is having some sweet potatoes, and you know, usually if you get that fresh sweet potato, it is so much better than a canned sweet potato. But it depends on how much time we've got.
Right.
Okay, now Gary, let's see, I'm going to need a whole cup, correct?
Yes, 1 cup of
Sweet
sweet potatoes,
potatoes.
cooked and mashed.
Okay,
So we have our mashed sweet potatoes that we're putting in there.
and you can see that one 15-ounce can is almost my whole cup of sweet
Right.
potatoes, right?
That's right. Okay.
So we're going to put that in the bowl.
After they're mashed down.
They're already mashed.
Right.
Set that to the side. Now then, Gary, it's telling me to add my eggs
Right.
and my milk, correct?
Yes. 3 eggs beaten.
Beaten, okay. Well, since you said beaten, so I guess I better put them in the bowl.
Okay.
And it's a good thing too to make sure that you are beating your eggs or checking your eggs before you put them in a dish. I always look at an expiration date, but you know, Gary, there's always sometime you might have just a little bit of something there, correct? So when it says
Yeah.
beaten,
Yes.
so all 3
So I'm
eggs
gonna move
are
this over here
good.
for a minute so we can see your eggs there.
My eggs are here in the bowl, and I am going to take,
So show me how you beat them.
well, what you want to do, you want to break
Break the
that
yolk.
yolk.
Okay,
Yeah. You know, it just, you break it, you can
Okay.
just, you just
Combine
want to
them,
get
yeah.
that yellow and that white, a little bit combination there. Now we have to watch when we're using raw eggs. You know, especially if you're working with maybe some of your young children or anybody for that matter, because raw eggs, you know, we can get sick if we
Right. Yeah,
give
raw
them
eggs and raw
salmonella.
chickens.
They
can be-
are. So we've got those eggs, so we're just going to scoot my bowl back over here. And as I'm bringing them down, I'm just going to
Beat them up.
that.
Okay, and there are 3 beaten eggs.
All right, we got our 3 beaten eggs, and now we're going
1 cup.
we're going to put our 1 cup of skimmed milk. Now, if you noticed, I've got a different cup here for my milk than I did my dry ingredients.
Right.
Wonder why I'm doing that, Gary?
Yes, because if it has a handle on it, it's for liquid ingredients.
And the
Right?
spout. Yeah, with
And
that
the
little
spout,
spout.
right,
Yeah,
right,
there
yes.
you go.
Yes, the
Boy,
spout.
Gary, you got it down, okay?
I remember you telling us that last time.
I know. I'm glad you remembered.
I'm glad that, yeah, that's easy to remember that way.
You know, it is. Usually I always try to tell people, if it's got a spout on it, you know it's liquid. But you know, I know sometimes people may not have anything but that 1 cup. But you know,
Right.
you have to watch. So we're going to,
Because there is a difference.
there is a difference. And if you're measuring, you will see just a tad difference, you
Yeah.
know. So
Okay.
we're going to put our, over there, let's see, we're going to
cup milk.
need
2 tablespoons of olive oil.
olive oil. That's a lot of oil, isn't it?
And it is tablespoons.
It is tablespoons. Well, I'm going to use my little handy dandy, and you notice I'm not pouring over my ingredients already, because you know what I can do sometime.
Oops.
Might get just a little bit too much, and it can happen, can't it,
That's
Gary?
right. It's easy.
It
do
is,
that.
and I'm sure anybody out there that has ever cooked or made anything, it can happen. So now we're going to use a,
Tablespoon of vanilla.
is it a tablespoon? It is a table. Oh, Gary, you're good.
Yeah.
Now, you notice that I'm using this same measuring tool that I used with the cinnamon and the sugar. Okay, that's okay because we don't have anything raw, because I didn't have any eggs. You can do those things, okay?
Right. And they're all going the same thing.
It's, yeah. But a lot of times, you know, people, you said 1 tablespoon of vanilla.
Yes.
I love vanilla.
I do too. So, so if you accidentally put 2, I wouldn't complain.
I know you wouldn't complain today, would you, Gary? Okay, now we have got our eggs, we've got our potatoes, we've got our olive oil, we've got our milk, and we've got our eggs. So what we need to do now, we're just going to mix this up just a tad before we add our dry ingredients in there.
Okay.
I don't know if the audience can see.
Yeah, how it's all combining there.
Yeah, but you can see that the potatoes, Gary, are not pureed, right?
No.
They still got just a
Yeah, they're
little
still a little
hunk in
chunky.
there. And that's okay. That's what our recipe says. Now, what we're going to do, okay, maybe, just maybe, I better just stick this in this cup. So what I would like to do now, I'm just going to add all of our dry ingredients, which included 1 cup of self-rising flour, half a cup of our whole wheat flour,
Right.
and our 2 tablespoons of sugar, and our teaspoon of cinnamon.
Right.
So we're just going to add this.
Going to combine them in there. That's good.
I can smell that cinnamon as I'm turning this bowl up.
That's a good thing.
We put 2 in there, we would have really smelled it, wouldn't we? Or 4 guys. So Gary, all I'm going to do now, I'm just going to get my dry ingredients and my liquid ingredients mixed together.
Okay.
Now, you might say, well, can we use a mixer? I don't think the recipe is saying, you know, it says here, be careful not to overstir it, you know.
Right.
So we want it mixed, but that we don't
Smells good.
You smell it?
I do. I think it smells like the vanilla and the cinnamon and stuff that in there. That's nice. Very autumnal.
Yeah, we've got something a little different this morning.
I think it smells sweet potatoes then maybe too. Yeah.
Sweet
Yeah, very
potatoes, and you
nice.
can see it's all breaking down.
Right. And orange. You
And
can
it's
see
orange.
It looks very fall-like.
Oh, you know, we've got a little holiday, you know, coming up the end of the month.
That's right.
A lot of times people will get together and have maybe some little fun time, little family time. This would be an excellent something to have for breakfast, you know.
Right.
So,
Yes.
so Gary, I think we
For Halloween.
Halloween, that's right.
Okay.
So it says to preheat your griddle or your oven, and Gary, you got me turned on? Turn me on. So, and we didn't turn it on earlier because we did not want it to get hot.
What temperature do you want?
Gary, it says over medium high, so
250?
yeah, maybe let's do about 3 till it gets warm.
Okay.
So I'm just going to go ahead and spray my skillet. And you notice we're not doing butter, right?
Right.
Anybody ever cook pancakes in butter?
Yeah.
I know. Gary, I've done that too. So we're going to let this heat up, and then we're going to put our batter in there and we're going to cook them. Now, we're talking about while this is heating, I'm going to step right here just a second, Gary. Now, they're amazing pancakes. Now, wonder what we're going to put on our amazing pancakes, Gary. Besides
Syrup?
we can do some syrup, but how about some fruit?
That'd be good too.
Be good. So we're going to have some strawberries and some bananas. We're going to slice those. And then, you know, you can put some syrup. And I think we've got some syrup over here we're going to show you. I did this recipe with some folks before, and what they actually did, they put their fruit and they drizzled a small amount of the syrup instead of kind of dousing it in on all the syrup. So you know that's something pretty easy to do.
Yes. Yes.
We're going to make sure. I'm going to test this out just a tad, Gary.
Okay.
And it says in here, you know, you might want to test it a little bit before you, and I know you folks out there, see, it's just not quite ready to cook. You know, that's something we can do. So, you know, we want to make sure our skillet is hot enough, but we don't want it burning.
Right.
So
So we're going to have to wait for this to heat up a little bit.
Just a minute, just a minute. It's going to heat, right?
And then we'll be ready to cook it up.
We're going to cook it, and then we're going to put some fruit on it, maybe drizzle a little bit of syrup on it, and we're going to be ready for a nice fall meal.
Great.
And this is something in the morning that you can have. It says amazing pancakes. If you all are out there watching this, you may be like me. I have breakfast sometime for an evening meal, right?
Right, yep.
This could be something. You could pair it up with your fruit, have a glass of milk with it, and you could have something very good.
Cool. Okay, so we're adding the pancakes.
We're adding our pancakes. Don't want it to get too warm on me. Oops, I got just a little bit too much right there. But I'm going to turn it back down to about 300. And you can see, Gary, I know you've got your camera right here. That's just a piece of our sweet potato. And I'm just going to scoot that over. And there's the first one that we put in. You can see it's a baby, isn't it? It's a little mini.
A little baby. Yep.
It's a little mini. So it doesn't take long, and this recipe tells us that we can make at least about 12 pretty good sized pancakes. So that would be quite a bit, don't you think?
Absolutely. That's for a family of 4. That's 3 each.
Yep. That one. Now, if somebody's out there like me, sometimes they might get in a hurry. They might want to flip too soon. Do you think, Gary?
Uh-huh.
You ever do that?
Yes. How do you know when to flip?
Okay, you can see your edges here, and you know it's scooting. Now, before, whenever I just poured the liquid, if I'd scooted it, the liquid would have probably, the batter would have probably just moved. And I want to make sure.
Good job.
Whoops, I almost did it, Gary.
What's the ideal coloring you're looking for here?
You just want a brown. You want to make sure that, remember we put the raw egg in there. You want to make sure that egg is cooked thoroughly in anything that we do. But you can see right here, those are pretty brown. And if you noticed here with this one, Gary, when I flipped it, you can still see some like the liquid batter right in here. So you want to make sure that that is cooked thoroughly. I can still smell the cinnamon.
Yes. Shame there isn't smell-o-vision.
I know. You can see when I flip these back over, Gary, they're pretty brown. So those would be, let's see. And we're going to let these cook. I shouldn't have flipped them, but see, this is still white right here. Yes. So possibly the inside, it might be still just not quite cooked thoroughly, Gary. Remember, we want to do that.
So we'll wait on them. We'll wait on them.
We're going to wait on that. We're going to pick up this little bitty baby that we did, that when we dropped our, was testing that. But I know, like you said, you can't do smell-o-vision, but we can smell that cinnamon. I can smell it. I think I smell the vanilla too, Gary. So we have got, see how brown that one is now, Gary?
Yep.
So we have got our amazing pancake.
Fantastic.
Now, what we're going to do, Gary, scoot this over.
All right, so we have our pancakes off the griddle, right?
Yes. Now, I said we can pair this up with some fruit, right? Do you ever do fruit on your pancakes, Gary? Is that a bad question?
I have blueberry pancakes.
Blueberry,
sometimes,
okay.
Yes.
Well, we're just going to take a few bananas. I love bananas because I could put a whole banana on.
I've also had chocolate chip pancakes, and they're
I know,
my favorite. I know that's not a fruit, but
well, you know, I have grandchildren, and that's what they like too. So, you know, we could just do it with some bananas, or I'm going to take these nice strawberries, and we're going to add some color to this pancake. So, you know, we need 2 cups of fruit a day, and
That's right.
we're
Might
not
as well
gonna
get them this way.
We're not going to get 2 cups, but we're going. It's going to be pretty good, don't you?
Well, we have the fruit. What is a potato a fruit?
No, that is a vegetable. So we've got
Okay.
vegetable and some fruit both there. And Gary, I know that out there people said, I am not just going to eat this fruit. You can. You can.
That's right.
But we have here some light syrup, you know.
Okay.
Now, I said that we could drizzle. Now, there's a difference in drizzling and
Coating.
coating. I was going to say submerging almost. You know, we're just going to do a little drizzle.
That's a drizzle.
Just a little drizzle
That's
there.
right.
Now, I know that everybody's like me. They like a little syrup.
Right.
And so, Gary, there we go. We've got a little drizzle. We've got our fruit. We've got some vegetable there. And we've got an alternative, something we can have healthy for our fall.
Right. We have an amazing pancake display.
Amazing pancakes. Would you like for me to go over the
That'd be
recipe again?
Fantastic.
Okay, amazing pancakes. And I want everybody to remember, all of these recipes comes from the University of Kentucky. We just can't make them up, but they're all tried and true, you know,
Right.
before we ever get a hold of them. So this amazing pancake is 1 cup of self-rising flour, 1/2 cup of whole wheat flour, 2 tablespoons of sugar, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, and you could do 1/4 cup of chopped nuts if you optional, which we didn't.
Right.
1 cup of our sweet potatoes cooked and mashed, 3 eggs beaten, 1 cup of fat-free milk, 2 tablespoons of olive oil, 1 tablespoon of vanilla, and then you just mix it together, put it in your griddle or on your electric skillet, what we did today, and cook them, then top them with some fruit and drizzle. If you've got to have that syrup, we do a drizzle.
Right.
You know, Gary, that's what we're going to do, is a grizzle.
Right.
So, and it tells us here that it took about 10 minutes, which it may have taken us a little bit longer because we were talking.
Right.
But
And demonstrate.
we're demonstrating this. But with this, 2 pancakes about like this, Gary, would be about 260 calories.
Okay.
So, you know, they want us for breakfast, they want us to make a third of our calories intake in the day should be our breakfast. We could use this as some breakfast, and that would be less than 300 calories. We could add a glass of milk, glass of juice with it, and that's what we could have for breakfast.
Fantastic. They are amazing pancakes. The recipe is available here at the Marion County Extension Office or at any extension office if you ask them as well.
Yes.
And again, I've been here with Juanita Hearn. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Gary.
Yes. We look forward to letting us know what you think of the amazing pancakes made with some sweet potatoes.
And try it. I mean, you don't, if your family said, I'm not eating anything with a sweet potato in it, all they want is a sweet potato casserole. Try it. Don't tell them what's in it, you know, and get their reaction.
That's right. And I tried the little baby one and it was good.
Did you?
While you were talking.
That's okay, Gary. Did you taste the pumpkin in it? No.
No.
You might have got, did you taste the cinnamon? Because you're a cinnamon fan.
Yeah, I like cinnamon. I did.
But like I
tastes
said,
good.
all of these are from the University of Kentucky, and they do some fantastic, amazing recipes for us to be able to share with our families and with our TV audience also.
Fantastic.
Okay?
It's been Gary White with Juanita Hearn at the Marion County Extension Office. Thank you.